Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Rapuzzle by Skojo, and here are the rules. And with a nice little drawing here, with I guess it's Rapuzzle here. Here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Anti-knight. Cells a chess knight's move away cannot contain the same digit. So in addition to normal Sudoku rules, there are additional anti-knight rules, where basically, for example, if for this 2, these digits, which are a knight's move away, cannot contain a 2, aside from normal Sudoku rules, right? So in addition to the normal, you can't have a repeat in the same row, column, or 3x3 box, you also cannot have a 2 or a repeat in this that's a knight's move away from it. So none of these red cells can also contain a 2. And that's how anti-knight works. We also have Tower Fortress. Cells that are part of the gray tower must be greater than all orthogonally adjacent non-tower cells. Note, any cell that the tower even partially covers is considered a fortress cell. So, for example, this cell must be greater than all orthogonally adjacent, which means just sharing an edge. So for this cell, all orthogonally adjacent cells would be these 4 cells because they share an edge with it. But it only has to be greater than the ones that are non-tower cells. So it would have to be greater than this cell. We don't care about these because these are all tower cells or fortress cells. Tower fortress cells. So this, as an example, this could be 2, and this is 1, and this would be valid, no matter what these other digits are, because this is greater than the non-tower fortress cell. And then we have Rapunzel's hair, where every group of 3 cells along Rapunzel's hair must contain 1 low digit, which is 1, 2, or 3, 1 medium digit, which is 4, 5, and 6, and 1 high digit, which is 7, 8, and 9. So basically, for example, these 2, or these 3, out of these 3 cells, one of them has to be a low digit, which is 1, 2, or 3. One has to be a medium digit, which is 4, 5, 6, and the other one has to be a high digit, which is 7, 8, or 9. And those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So we know this cell and this cell have to be greater than these. This cell has to be greater than this cell. This cell has to be greater than these 2. And this cell has to be greater than these 2. All of these cells are greater than this cell. So you can never have... Okay. Where is the 9 on column 4? It cannot be any of these cells because all of these cells must be less than these cells. Because these are all fortress cells and these are non-tower fortress cells. So these are all less than 9. Because these are at most 9 and therefore none of these can be 9. So this has to be a 9. Well, in this cell... in this column, column 3, where's the 1? All of these cells must be greater than at least one other cell, so none of these can be 1. Therefore, this is a 1. You have, and then what else do we have? This cell must be greater than this cell. Let's start coloring. I don't know if this is part of the hair. I'm guessing it is, but I'm not sure. So let's color where the hair is. And let's color every 3 cells. So we're going to make it yellow, or pink, and orange. So this is yellow, which means this has to be the same set as this one, right? Because we have yellow, pink, and orange here. What about these three adjacent cells? You have to have pink. We already have pink. We have orange. We need a yellow one. So this is yellow. There, similarly, here, this is a pink, right? Because for these three cells, we have yellow and orange. This must be pink, which makes this orange. This is yellow, pink, orange, and yellow, and pink. But we don't know if that's a part of it. It looks like it's a part of it, but I'm not sure. What we do know is yellow has to be less than pink. And pink has to be less than orange. So because of that, since yellow is always less than pink, and pink is always less than orange, because again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 in each set. This has to be higher than this set, which must be higher than this set, right? Because the fortress cells are always higher than the non-fortress cells. So this has to be 7, 8, and 9. Because that set is always greater than the set 4, 5, and 6, which is always greater than the set 1, 2, and 3. So we know the yellows are essentially lows, so that we're going to color them blue. The pinks are essentially middle, so we're going to color them green. And the oranges have to be high, so these are high. So this is 1, 2, or 3, which means it cannot be 1. So this is 2 or 3, which means this is 1 or 2. This is also a low. This is 7, 8, 9. This has to be a high, so this is 7 or 8. Oops. This is a high, so this is 7 or 8, which means that 8, 9 has to be here, which is greater. This is 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3. We also have, remember, Knight's Move. So, what else do we have here? This cannot be, okay, so these two are greater than this cell. So therefore, it cannot be more than a 7, right? Because 7 requires 2 cells that are greater than it. This is... So this is at most 7. So it's 3 through 7. These 2 cells have to be greater than this cell. And it can't be 1, 2, or 9. So this is 4 through 8 as possibilities. And this can't be 2. This could be 2 if this is 1. Both of these cells see that cell. This one from normal Sudoku and this one from Knight's Move. So all 3 of these cells have to be different cells. These 2, because they're are different from each other because they're in the same row. These 2, or same column. These 2 are different because they're in the same row. And these 2 because of Knight's Move. So these are all different low numbers. We're going to make this, I guess, we'll make this A, this B, this C. This cannot be B, so it has to be A or C here. We're not sure which. So this is C, and C cannot be any of these cells. It can't be this cell. So C has to be one of these 3. A cannot be here or these. So A is one of these 3. B cannot be any of these or here. So B is one of these 3. If this is part of the hair, this is high. So this would have to be, this would not be B if that's the case. Similarly, These cells are not the same either. So I guess we can make a GH and I, right? Because these see each other from the column, these see each other from the row, and these see each other from the knight's move. So we're going to make this G, this H, and this I. Well, this can't be I, obviously, so this is G or H. G cannot be any of these cells, so therefore G has to be one of these two specifically. So this can't be G, this is H. So this is H, this is H, which means H has to be one of these two. H cannot be here, so H cannot be here either, so one of these two is H, which means H has to be one of these three, and it could be the 9. So I cannot be either of these, but it could be any of these 4. H is here, H is here. G cannot be here. G cannot be any of these 3. Or this. Sorry, this could also be 9 here. This can't be 9, but this could be 9. This is obviously greater than whatever is here. This has to be... Oh, interesting. Well, this has to be 3 through 8, which means this is 4 through 9 also. This is 3 through 8. So this is 4 through 9 here also. So 2 has to be one of these 3 cells. Okay. I'm not sure how helpful that is, but we do know that. This can't be 9 because of knight's move from 9. What else do we have here? The rest of these cells have to be, could be 1 through 8, though. Oh, wait, hold up. Each of these cells must be greater than one of these cells. If you have any difference that's a difference of greater than 1, I think that would break all of these cells, right? Say this was 9 and this was 7. Then you would have essentially an 8 somewhere here where you don't have a any 9 greater than possible to be there. So these always have to have a difference of 1. Similarly, say this was 9 and this was 4. Well, there's no longer a 9 to be greater than an 8. And you know one of the 9s has to be greater than 8. So 9 is always greater than 8. 8 is always greater than 7. 7 is always greater than 6. So we know this is 4 and this is 3. This has to be then 2 because it can't be 3, and this is 1. This is 7 and this is 6. So this cannot be 3 or 6. This can't be 4 or 7. We don't need these. This can't be 7 because of knight's move. So this is 8, which makes that 9. This cannot be 8. This is the same as H. This was G. This is H. Right. 7 has to be one of those, so this must be 9. Which means one of these is a 9. So this is 9. We're going to remove the outer letters. This can't be 9 anymore. So it's 5, 6, and 8 here, which means this is 4, 5, and 7. So this is 3, 5, 6, and 8. But that must be next to 2, 4, 5, and 7. So one of these is 2. This can't be 1. One of these is 2, so this can't be 2 either. This must be 3. 3 has to be one of these two. This can't be 7. Cannot be 7 because of knight's move from that 7. So this can't be 8 here. Because again, it has to be 1 greater than this. If this is 5 or 6, this would have to be 4 or 5, and then we would have 4 digits, which would have to contain the digits 4, 5, and 6, which is not allowed. So this cannot be 5 or 6, which means this can't be 4 or 5. Therefore, this is 3 or 8, which makes that 2, 7. This can't be 8 because of knight's move from here. So this can't be 7 here. So one of these is a 3. One of these is a 2. But we're not sure which. Two is one of these 3. 2 can't be here or here, so 2 is one of these 2. 3 cannot be here, so it can't be any of these cells, so this must be a 3. Which means 3 cannot be here, so 3 has to be one of these 2. 1 cannot be any of the, or it could be here. 6 cannot be here, so this must be 5, which makes this a 4. This can no longer be 4, this can't be 4, this can't be 5 anywhere here, and this can't be 5. 5 could be here. Hmm. What else do we have? The remaining digits in box 2 are 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. This can't be 1. So one of these 3 is a 1. This can't be a 1 because of this 1. This can't be 5. So one of these 2 is a 1, which means one of these 2 is a 1. 9 cannot be any of these, so 9 has to be one of these 2. Obviously, this is a 9, so that's fine. 3 cannot be here or here, so 3 is one of these, 1 is one of these. Seven cannot be any of these, so 7 has to be one of these 2. Well, that means none of these could be 7. None of them could be 7, because one of these 2 is a 7. So one of these 2 must be a 7, which means this can't be 7 here. 2, 4. So any of these could be 4, but this can't be 4. That's fine. This can't be 5 because of knight's move. What else are we missing? I'm going to pause because I need to go to the bathroom right now. So let me pause for a little bit. And we're back. Let's see. Let's continue with the puzzle. Let's see. What were we trying to do? Okay. Hmm. If this is not 8, 7, this would be 6, 5, which would force this to be 7. So if this is not 7, what would this be? Okay, sorry. If this is 7, this is 8, 7, which forces this to be 6. Otherwise, this is not 8, 7, which makes this 6, 5, which means this would have to be 7 in that case. So this can never be 8, which means 8 is always one of these 3. So since 8 is one of those 3, 8 cannot be here, so 8 has to be one of these 3. Well, this can't be 8 because of the knight's move for 8. So one of these two is an 8. Which doesn't tell us too much, but it does tell us something, I guess. 4 cannot be here. Oh, where can 4 be? 4 cannot be here. Cannot be here because of knight's move. Actually, it's still the same. 4 can't be here, and here, and here. So 4 has to be one of these 3. Remaining digits here. So 1 cannot be either of these two cells, right? Because if 1 is here, they both see both of these cells. So 1 has to be one of these two or one of these two. 8 cannot be here, but it could be any of these cells there. 6 cannot be any of these. Okay, that's helpful. So 6 has to be one of these two, which means these cannot be 6. These cannot be 6, so 6 has to be one of these. It could be any of these 4, though. 6 could be any of these 4. One of those 4 and one of these 4. Okay, if this is 6 and 5, that has to be 4. We know 4 cannot be any of these or here, so one of these has to be a 4. That doesn't really tell us much. I'm not very good with knight's moves, so this is I take a lot longer than most people probably do. 3 has to be one of these 3. 1 has to be one of these 3. And I think I should just include that in the hair, because that does look like it extends to the hair. So therefore, this is a high, which means this cannot be 1. Which means 1 cannot be any of these. 1 has to be one of these 3. This is 8 or 9. Oh yeah, and you see the hair actually continue here, so therefore this is part of the hair by just coloring it. This is 8 or 9. What does that mean then? Okay, so where is this cell actually? It cannot be any of these because it's on the same column. Can't be these because of knight's move. Can't be here because that can't be an 8 or a 9. And it can't be 1 or 5, so it has to be here. So this one has to match this one, which is 8 and 9. So I guess we'll label this A. So this is A, this is A. One of these is A. We're not sure which. So this cannot be then 7, because if this was 7, this would have to be 8 and 9, but that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. And that cell, actually. So this can't be a 7. This is 3 or 4. If this is 8, this has to be 4, and this is 3. So either this is 8, or this is 8, right? If this is 8, then this forces this to be 8 and 8. 8 or 8 here, which is possible. If this is 8, that means this is 9, this is 4, and this is 3. But this could be 6 or 7. Where's 2? Okay, so 2 cannot be any of these. So 2 has to be one of these two cells here, right? Because it can't be these anymore. This cannot be greater than the 3 or 4. And it can't be here because that has to be this cell. So it has to be one of these two, which means this is a 2, which means one of these 3 is a 2, but it can't be here because of that knight's move. So one of these 2 is a 2 here. This is a 1. This is a 1. That's a 1. We know 7 has to be actually, one of these two cells. Well, because 7 is one of these two cells, both of them see this cell. So this can't be a 7. Therefore, this is 5. This is 6. This has to be a 7. These can no longer be 5. We can also remove, this is a 1, 6, 8 triplet here. This can't be 5, so this must be 2, which makes this a 3. This has to be 8, and this has to be 7 then, as the remaining digits. Well, where is the 8 in row 9? It cannot be any of these, cannot be any of these, so it has to be one of these two cells. Therefore, both of these cells have to be 8 and 9. So therefore, because those are the only two places that you can have an 8 or a 9, so they both have to be there. This can't be 3 or 2, so this must be a 1. So this can't be 1 anymore, which forces this to be a 1. Neither of these places can be a 1, so this must be a 1 here. This can't be 2, where the only place for 2 now in column 1 is here. So this is 2. One of these is a 6. None of these can be 6 anymore. This is a 6, so this can't be a 6. None of these can be 1, 6, or 8. So the remaining digits are 2, 4, 5, and 7. But this can't be 2. This can't be 4. This can't be 2. This can't be 7. Remaining digits in row 8 have to be 4, 5, 6, and 3. And this can't be 3 because of knight's move. Therefore, this is a 3. Therefore, this is 4, 5, or 6. And we have 2 and 7 with 4, 5, and 6 possible here. Okay. This can't be 6 anymore. 7's one of these two. Remaining digits here. So 1 has to be one of these two. 3 is one of these three. 6 is one of these two. We have also 8, 9, and 5 left. 8, 9, and 5. This cannot be 9 because of this 9. This can't be 8 because of these 8s. Do we have anything else? The remaining digits here in box 7 are 4, 5, 6, 7. But this can't be 7, this can't be 7, this can't be 6, and this can't be 6. This is also 4, 5, 6, 7, but it can't be 7. This can't be 7. Where is the 7 in row 9? It has to be here. So this is a 7, which means this can't be 7. This cell sees all of 4, 5, and 6, right? So these 3 cells have to be 4, 5, and 6. Therefore, this cannot be 4, 5, or 6. This sees this one from Knight's Move and this one from normal Sudoku. So therefore, this is an 8, which makes this a 9, which makes that a 9. This can no longer be 9, and none of these can be 8, so this must be an 8 here. So this can't be 8. This can't be 9 or 8 anymore, so this can't be 9, and these can't be 8. Let's remove those, so that's clear. How about here? This can be 2 or 3. 2, 3, 4. It cannot be 7. It can't be 4 because of Knight's Move. So therefore, 4 has to be one of these 2 cells. This can't be 8 anymore, so this is 1. Which means this can't be 1. None of these 2 can be 1. This could be 2 or 7. And it can't be 7 because of Knight's Move 7 here. So this is a 2, which makes that 3, which makes this 4, which makes that a 7. This can't be 3 here, so this must be a 5. This can't be 5, so this is a 4, 6 pair, which eliminates 4 and 6 in the rest of the box. So this can't be 4, this is 5, which means these can't be 5, and this can't be 5 here. Okay, let's remove the adder stuff here. The remaining digits here are 8 and 9, and we have 1 out of 4 or 5. This cannot be 4 or 9, this can't be 4, this can't be 8, this can't be 5. This can't be 9 because of this 9. Well, 9, where is 9 in column 5? It can only be here now. So this is a 9. One of these 2 is an 8, which is still fine. What are the remaining cells in row 2? They have to be 2, 4, 9. This can't be 2 because of Knight's Move. How about the remaining cells in row 1? It's 3, 5, 6, and 8. Well, this can't be 3 because of this 3. Both 6 and 8 see the cell in box 2, right? These 6 and 8 pair both see this cell, so this can't be 6 or 8, so it's 3 or 5 here. How about this one? This is 1, 7, 6, and 8. Well, this can't be 7 because of Knight's Move, and both the 6, 8 pairs see this one from regular Sudoku and this one from Knight's Move. So it cannot be 6, 7, or 8, it has to be 1, which means none of these can be 1. So this can't be 1. We know 1 cannot be here, here, or here. Can't be here because of Knight's Move, therefore this is a 1. So this is 1, which makes this 3, which makes that 6, which makes that 1. The remaining digits here are 2, 4, and 5. This can't be 5 anymore because of this 5. Remaining digits in row 4 are 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, what does that tell us? Not much. Well, this can't be 2, 4, or 9 because it sees the 2, 4, 9 triplet here. So this can't be 2, 4, or 9. So that's not 2. Oh, where is the 3 in row 6? Can't be any of these because of the 3's in the boxes. Can't be here because of this 3, and can't be here because of knight's move from this 3, so this must be a 3. So this is a 3. We now have 8 3's, which means we know where the last 3 is. It has to be here. So this is 3, which makes this a 5. This can't be 5. This is 6 or 8. These can't be 5 anymore. This can't be a 5. This cannot be 4 or 6 because it sees these two in the same box, and it sees this from knight's move. And these are the 3. This is a 4, 5, 6 triplet in row 8. So these are all containing 4, 5, and 6. So this cannot be 4 and 6, which makes that 2 and 7. Well, where is the 5 now in box 9? There's only one place. It has to be here. So this is 5, which means this cannot be 5. This can't be 5 because of knight's move, so that's a 4, which makes that a 6, which makes that 4. This can't be 4 or 6, so this is 5. This can't be 4 because of this 4, so this is 6, which makes that 4. These can't be 4 anymore. We have a 2, 6, 7 triplet, which all sees this cell. This one from normal Sudoku and these from knight's move, so this can't be 2, 6, or 7. So this can't be 2, and it cannot be 5, so it must be a 4. This 4 means this is a 2. This 2 and 4 means this has to be 5, which makes that an 8. That makes that 4, which makes that 7. That makes that a 2. So none of these can be 2 here. This can't be 5 anymore. These can't be 8. Well, where is the 5 now in row 4? It has to be here. So this is 5. This cannot be 2, so this is 7, which makes this a 6. That makes this 7. This 4 means this can't be 4, so this is 9. This can't be 9 or 4, so this is 2. This can't be 2 or 9, so this is 4. This can't be 2 or 7, so this is 6 because of the 2, 7 here. This makes this a 2. This 9 means this can't be 9, so this is 8, which makes that 9. The remaining digits here are 8 and 9, and that can't be 9, so this is 8, which makes that a 9. This can't be 6 or 7, so this is 8, which makes that a 6, which makes that 7. And it also makes that a 6, which makes that an 8. And that's how you solve it. Fairly straightforward. It was a little hairy with with this not knowing whether this was part of the hair, but once you colored it, it became obvious that the hair was part of that cell too. And that was actually what broke it apart after. Obviously, the first break-in was this tower fortress and how this had to essentially work, right? And it wasn't necessarily intuitive here, actually. But if you think about it for a little while, it comes to you, right? Because, like, you have 8 digits here, and you have 8 digits here, and each one of these digits must be greater than this one. But if you have a difference then of 2 or more, the problem is you're going to have one digit here which isn't accounted for because of that. So that's not going to work there if that's the case. So you always have to have a difference of 1. That was really the breakthrough here. And then coloring this, which allowed you to figure out which group was which. And then this cell, which allowed you to figure out where it could be in this row, essentially. Or actually this box. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.